Hi, today I'll be showing you how to set up the Generation 3 Stingray. So I'm going to show you what's in the bag first. You've got 3 tree wraps, those so that you don't cause any damage to the tree bark on some of those species that have softer bark. Poles, a rain fly, set of ratchets and straps, pegs and bungees, a manual, and the tent. A bag of spares that includes a spare pole section, a tear-aid rain cover patch, 3 water gates, a couple of zip pulls and some spare hooks. So the first thing we want to do is open the tent and lay it out so the 3 corners are facing the 3 anchor trees that we've chosen. So take the tail, point it at one tree, and then take the 2 front corners and point it at the other trees that you're going to be using. So in the strap bag you'll find 3 straps and 3 ratchets. What we'll do is we'll put the ratchets on the tent first and then take the straps around the trees. You take the ratchet that has a loop at the end of the strap and you pass the loop through the D-ring in the corner of the tent and then put the ratchet through the loop and cinch it tight. So I'm going to take a tree wrap first and I'm going to put it around my tree at the height that I want to do it on. This tree is a little bit lower than the others, so I'm going to have to put this one higher than expected so that we can even the tent out at around the 4 foot or 1.2 meter mark. Well, that's the tree wrap. Then you take your strap, go to the end with the loop, pass the loop around the tree, and then put the tail through the loop, pulling it through and pointing it towards the tent. And we'll do the same to the other 2 trees. Once you've got your strap around the tree, take it to the ratchet that's attached to the tent, slip it through the spindle and then pull out the excess strap, giving it a couple of cranks so it doesn't slip out on you. And then we'll go and eyeball the others before we get it completely right. And the last one, stick it through the spindle, drop the ratchet, walk back towards the tree, and at this point, because the other 2 ratchets are locked off, it will start to raise the tent. And I'm going to just lock it off there so we can check the alignment. As you can see, the orange strap and the black strap have a slight unalignment, so I'm going to have to ratchet further in that direction to straighten out that line as much as I can. You've got about a 7-degree margin of tolerance, which this is in, but I'm putting it up right, so might as well. It's important is to keep the tail in line with the strap, otherwise you'll find that it gets munched up in the teeth. Why it's important to get a good straight line between this strap and the underfloor straps is that if there's a if it's not equal between the 3 straps, you'll find that this side of the tent is tensioned really hard, whereas this side of the tent is still flappy. So as you can see, we're going to need to bring the tent this way, which will equal out the tension in this side and this side of the tent. Once you've got it as tight as you can, you're going to lock off the ratchet and put it in safe mode, which means pulling this plate out, setting the handle back so that this plate sits inside this housing here. That way, there's no way that this can jump out and the tent can fall. It's all locked now. Now I'm going to show you how to tidy up your straps so you haven't got trip hazards all over your campground. What I do is I take 4 fingers and I wrap it round once, and then wind up that excess strap. Once you've got about 18 inches or 30-40 centimeters, take the middle point, push it through the strap roll that you've just made, and then put the whole roll through that loop that you've just made, and then you've got a perfect strap tidy. Now the tent's up and nice and tense, we can get the poles and put them in. So you'll find 2 poles which have an elastic inner which helps them all click together. And then what you'll do is you'll find the opening of the pole sleeve, which is denoted by this grey webbing here, and you just put your pole inside and feed it all the way in until you've got about 2 feet or 70 centimeters left, and then the same on the other side. Once the poles are in the pole sleeves, come round to the tail end and you'll find a short zip there which will allow you to open up, locate the ends of the poles that you've just slipped in, and then you'll find the 2 pole sockets that you can just put the ends of the poles in, leaving them there. Once the backs of the poles are in the pole sockets in the tail, you can then take your pole, push it up and fit the front end in the pole socket next to each of the poles. Now we'll put on the rain fly. Unclip the buckle and you'll see that the 3 corners each have 2 clips, C-clips with adjuster belts. So we'll open that up and one easy way of telling what the tail is where you have 3 pieces of fabric coming together, and that's the tail. So I'll pass that over here. Take the tail C-clips and we attach them to the handle of the ratchet like that, and then I'm going to follow this side. I'm going to take the far end and I'm going to whip it over the tent now. And use the same clipping system onto the ratchet handles before going to the final corner and clipping those on and cinching them up tight. Then we're going to peg out the fly sheet using the pegs and the bungees provided. I've just put simple loops in both ends of the bungee length, so it's easy to hook on there. Put the loop to the floor rather than taking it up to the top of the bungee, and then screw your peg through that loop into the ground. Now you've got the rain fly pegged out and clipped onto the ratchets. You can see there's good ventilation between the tent and the rain fly. The rain fly comes as a standard of 5000 HH. Now I've pegged out 2 of the wings, but the side that's facing where the wind's coming from, I've kept in storm mode, which keeps the bulk of the wind out but still allows ventilation through the 2 lee sides of the Stingray. If you're facing big storm, high winds, lots of rain, you can put the rain fly in storm mode. What I've done here is I've taken one of the peg out bungees and I've threaded it through the seat belt loops to make a ring around the hatch. As you can see, it just goes round, and then take the hook of the rain fly and clip it to the elastic. That means you're in total lockdown and you can still get in through the hatch.